It's Ketchup Packets.
Hey everybody, I'm Nate.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Sean.
And this is Ketchup Packets. Today we're watching Season 2, Episode 8 of Severance, called Sweet Vitriol.
Okay, that sounds very sinister, actually, when I think about it for a second.
The sweet vitriol.
Yeah,
This
that's
show kind of fills me with sweet vitriol a lot.
a sadist would say that.
Yep. Yeah.
This is the shortest episode of the series. Runtime is 37 minutes right there. I believe the second shortest episode of the series is the season 1 finale, which was jam-packed with stuff.
It was every second there was
getting out. Yeah.
I didn't blink, I don't think,
So-
during that episode.
I don't know if we can necessarily expect this to be similar, but it's also a very short one, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
could establish a pattern.
So, what happened last time, guys? We had
I still don't know.
yeah, right.
We learned all about the testing floor,
Yeah.
and
We had a Gemma episode.
The torture that Gemma goes through. Yeah, it's interesting. There was so many comparisons to, in season 1 and stuff, especially to like the severed floor we're familiar with as a hell experience, and then we see Gemma's experience, which is much more what we conceptualize as like hell, of like specific tortures, you
Well,
know,
I just
all the
also
time, instead
think-
of mundanity.
It's just interesting too because like she just walks into a room and
Mm-hmm.
then walks out and it feels discomfort of some kind but doesn't actually remember any, like the point
Right.
of torture a lot of times is that you like are experiencing it.
Okay, but I think a central question in the show is, just because you don't remember something, does that mean it like wasn't
Didn't
you
happen.
and doesn't
Yeah,
count? It
absolutely.
doesn't mean
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It is
Right.
all still her. She's doing
Yeah.
all that stuff every day. So yeah, I mean, and that's the, I don't know. There's plenty of stuff that I think we didn't manage to notice or talk about in the post discussion last time that we could get to now, but I don't want to spend forever in pre-discussion.
Pick two.
Yeah, I mean, so the fertility clinic that they went to and the blood drive at the very beginning of the episode were both directly Lumen controlled. So
Okay.
Lumen is setting all this up from the very beginning and was like scouting potential subjects or whatever. There's the Lumen drop symbol on their blood drive stuff, and then not only was there that symbol on the forms at the fertility clinic, but Dr. Maurer was there. I said during the reaction, is that the dentist guy? No, but it was him.
Okay,
it was him.
He's in the lobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That was
there-
supposed to be like some kind of dead giveaway that like totally didn't pick
Right.
up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like the lumen symbol on medical stuff made sense to me because that's one of their.
That's right. They
Many
make that
tentacles.
stuff.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So yeah, they seem to have scouted that on purpose. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly what else to bring. I mean, I don't know what else we didn't cover, and there's there's plenty of theories now about each. So we know each file is a room.
It files a room,
Yeah. And
and
each
then
room.
there's yeah, go on.
Sorry. Each room is like a ironic torture almost.
Well, and I think that they are specifically pulled from Gemma's particular mind, and like the things that she dislikes and fears, especially because they
Yeah.
said in one of the flashbacks that she hates writing thank you notes.
Yep.
Oh,
And
interesting.
then, and so not only that, there was a specific thing about that whole thing is that she's writing the thank you notes with her left hand, and it's shown that she's right-handed in the flashbacks.
Whoa,
Yeah,
what?
So she's writing them with her offhand
Oh,
in that to make
weird.
the experience just as unpleasant. And somebody else pointed out that the thing she's writing a thank you note for is a grouter, and she says, "And I look forward to the many happy memories we will make with it." And then during the flashback when she's having her miscarriage, there's a moment where she's sitting in the shower and it shows her like fixating on the grout in the shower, and
Oh,
it makes
whoa.
sense like during a trauma you'd fixate
Yeah,
on a
on
small
something,
detail and
yeah.
it would burn in as part of the trauma. So
Okay, yeah.
even like the notion of a grouter is tied to a specific trauma of Gemma's, you know?
Weird.
And so that was the Allentown room. The thank you notes with the wrong hand
Yeah.
writing about the grouter. That's the file that Mark finished in one day when they first hired him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and it also has the Gemma's last words to Mark is she said, "I love you," and he didn't respond because he was doing something, and then she said, "I love you" again, and he said, "Yeah, I love you too." And then when she was leaving that room, that same interaction with Dr. Maurer, where he said,
Oh,
she
whoa,
didn't answer. but
okay,
it's-
yeah, I
so-
was like just barely trying to like keep a handle on.
No,
stuff.
yeah, I didn't
So
track all those details during the episode
Yeah.
either. It was during editing, and then people in comments as well pointed all that out.
That's
But, yeah,
really
so-
interesting. Man, this show is just so well written.
But the connection between them is very much about like their personal details of their lives. So I don't know. I mean,
it's like almost like the whole thing is just about them too.
but Lumen already operated before they brought Mark and Gemma in, so like, did they just do the? Oh, we've got somebody trying to interrupt a little bit. I don't know. Is Lumen like doing this to other couples and stuff? Like, I don't know. The connection between them.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Lumen plan seems, the way they describe it is global. That seems so specific.
Right.
And it is a weird disconnect.
And like MDR existed and is a process that we've seen referenced, like the Lexington letter says they do MDR other places and stuff like that. But also, Dylan said that when they brought Mark in, it sort of revolutionized how they do MDR. So is this just like a new breakthrough has been made? And I don't know. We should just get to it. I guess they're gonna give us more information.
Yeah, I hope.
Or maybe not, knowing the show. Yeah, sometimes just something else weird.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's get to it. Why not? Yeah. We have a Patreon. Check it out in the link below. We got full-length reactions over there. We got movie polls if you want to help us decide what to watch. So you can support us over there if you want or not. Let's watch Severance.
Woo.
Water is a theme on this show.
Sort of a theme in, like, humanity. In, like, planet Earth.
But not every piece of media has it as a theme.
That's true.
Nothing in this show is ever warm and inviting.
No, yeah.
Except the end of last episode. There was like sunlight on Mark at the very end.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was a very weird contrast, like it seemed out of place for this. Where the hell are they? Is this Lake Superior?
Huh. That's very interesting, man.
Doesn't it look like it?
It does.
Salt's Neck.
Thanks for visiting.
I think it's somewhere northeast coast.
Why does it feel so uninhabited?
Yeah, really, just like, are there people here?
There's the only car. What is this world?
I don't understand either.
Oh, and no intro.
Again, like the Ortbo.
Kind of brushing her teeth. In the middle
Yes,
of
something
nowhere.
is very wrong with the world.
Off in ether?
Or paint.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Ether was on my mind because
Yeah, it's an
here
ether
was an
factory. Yeah.
Ether. Stewsman. That is littering, Harmony.
The whole place is littering.
So Devin does call. Why would you trust her for an instant?
You're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Desperation. She's the
Yeah,
only
I
other
guess.
person.
Right, Regabi bounced.
Hear about that clusterfuck up on North Pine?
Dutch Stevens kid. An apple don't fall far from the gutter.
Well, that's kind of you.
On the house.
Thank you.
I feel like the guy who was sitting puffing whatever had the same bottle. He like poured something
Oh,
in
yeah?
his hands. Yeah. So there are like people here. They're
Looks
doing
like
things.
Vibes wise, it looks like Alaska.
It does. I'm just such a city guy, but like I know that there is something like quiet and simple and appealing about living out in a place like this, but I could never do it.
Yeah,
Could
me
never
neither. It would be I would be very restless.
Harmony Cobell.
That's your name.
Well, flip my toboggan.
You want coffee?
Huh.
So
There is history here of some
Yeah.
kind.
Yeah.
The town is older than I remembered. Frailer.
so she comes from here?
A few years ago, in the fluctuating interest rates, there was a retrenchment from some of the core infrastructure investments.
They left us here.
I need a favor. Meet me at the factory.
I'm like trying to run a business.
When?
Yeah.
Though, like...
I'm just
Like
gonna
right
go
now?
wait there
Yeah.
until you show up.
Lumen flower? On the side of the
Really?
building there?
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, there's the Lumen logo over there.
Yeah. This is a previous venture.
Well, they would have to have, like, in, you know, resource gathering operations, you know? They've gotta...
Well, they would also just have to have, like, what? Like, hundreds of years of, like...
Yeah, it's true.
Some sort of doing something, right?
Yeah.
This is back before they started slicing people's brains in two. They were a fishery. Well, it was an ether something before,
Yeah.
right? No, I suppose he just worked there, but, you know.
Yeah. But they've talked about, like, it's been around since the 1800s, so...
Mm-hmm.
Doing whatever, man.
You know how fucked it is to ask me to come here.
I need you to drive me to Sissy's.
No thanks.
That you couldn't have had this conversation in the
I'll
cafe.
still recognize my car.
How much trouble are you in?
She's on the run.
It seemed like they were like old friends that had a falling out. It's that I kind of hate you, but like...
If you're coming to me, you must
Yeah,
really be in trouble.
right.
Is sort of the
Yeah.
vibe he's giving off.
I feel like they're
You know, she still
family.
lives by the 9.
Could be. Tomato, tomato in that
Yeah.
in that case.
And you know she's a fucking pariah here.
You can stay in the truck.
Still lives by the 9
I need to get something.
Yeah.
values. Right?
Why would I help
The
you
9
with
core
anything?
principles.
Core principles, there we go.
We were once chums. Old colleagues lift each other up.
Okay, so he's a former Lumen worker, too.
Child fucking labor.
Yeah. Okay.
So they're both former Miss Wongs.
Yeah.
Kier and Imogen met at the ether mill.
Was she hacking up a lung at the time?
I can smell it on your breath. Pathetic.
So it is Ether.
I'll not be the punching dummy for your resentments.
Huh. Seems like he just feels like he has like an obligation to do this.
Yeah.
Why would she
A house.
It's where a pariah would live.
Very isolated.
Can you imagine being a pariah in a place like this? There's like 8 people and they all hate your guts.
Tell her to drop dead for me.
Wow.
All right.
You knock on someone else's door and tell them to drop dead.
You are not welcome here.
Just gonna push in anyway. What in the world is going on? Are they gonna tell us at all what this is about?
To call the authorities.
You're
She grew up here, Harmony age 12.
Yep.
What have you done with my things? Sold to the poor.
Sold to the poor, not given.
Yeah.
Not the key to Mother's room. That room stays shut until all who remember her sit with Kier. You know this.
So her room stays locked until everybody who knew her is dead?
Yep.
What did she do?
I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Your studies were more important. Mr. Egan saw Kier in you. And the Wintertide Fellowship.
Yeah, okay.
Even at the factory. No apprentice was more industrious than you. Return.
And show me mercy. Just like you did with Mother.
Ooh. I noticed that. What's her Sissy?
Where's the key?
Yeah.
Hasn't told a lie.
No.
When she's asked a question, she answers it, even if her answer is.
Oh, Kier Worrystone.
All you will find in there is pain.
At least the truth from her perspective, right?
Nope, the 4 tempers. I bet there'll be lots of stuff to see in those knickknacks if you
Yeah.
pause that frame.
Where is it?
Just 9.
Yeah. There's like tarot cards.
Hero cards. That wasn't that good.
I enjoyed it.
I found
The
it!
secret key.
Old school, like,
Yeah.
hospital bed.
This definitely looks like a room that's been sealed for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This shot is cool.
Is that her?
I think so. Young Harmony, it's cool.
I know that I'm maybe supposed to be having like a little bit of empathy, but she's totally complicit in what, I don't know, something about, oh, you miss your dead family member? Well, you've been keeping one in the basement floor like for how long?
Yeah.
Lying to Mark this whole time. And
Unless, you know, the thing we've speculated before, that she's trying to work deep cover to bring Lumen down, and in that case, she's been committing evil in the name of trying to stop the evil, but at one point is it no longer all right, you know? It's how long can you be undercover before you just become a criminal?
right.
Oh, okay, well, you should have locked the door behind you.
Came to get you. She's not too happy about it.
Give me a minute just to think.
Yeah, maybe sleeping will jog your mind if there's something here you're trying to search for, or a new idea, but if it doesn't come soon, probably just leave.
I liked her.
You barely knew her.
She hated Lumen more than I did, so I needed to know.
What?
You're talking about the mom?
Yeah, I assume so.
You want to get high?
I guess she's like, what the hell else am I doing?
I guess. I hope I am never in a position where I find myself tempted to take either.
You mean like the 1870s?
Or with Hunter S. Thompson in Las Vegas.
Right, yeah.
I don't even know. Like, how do you make ether?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Like, what's the process? You know?
Leave a comment. No.
Don't do that.
Oh, I haven't done that since I was 8.
What the
Okay, so they
man.
give little kids ether at these
to man the
wintertide programs.
Also sounds like something they would do in like the 1870s. Like, it'll help them sleep. What is happening? He looked like, yeah, there we go.
Isn't
I was
there
gonna say,
like an angry lady downstairs who doesn't want you to be here?
Yeah.
What's she gonna do about it? When do you suppose is the last time Harmony kissed somebody? Like,
About 10 seconds ago.
Like it's here.
She wouldn't throw it away.
What could she be trying to
Yeah.
find?
Myrtle
Is he-
Eden School for Girls.
Yeah, it's a yearbook. Annual reminiscences.
Go fighting kids.
no. Is that what it was?
Harmony Cobell Wintertide Fellowship. Oh, we're gonna have to freeze frame on whatever that text said.
Lorem Ipsum.
It's a human head.
It's a bust.
No, I think she found what she was looking for. It's not a
It's
bust.
her Wintertide Fellowship.
It's inside the
Trophy.
bust.
Oh, is it a different yearbook?
Notebook. Spiral bound.
So I know it's important.
Get the truck ready. And watch my head.
Okay,
That's-
is he gonna go confront Sissy with whatever's in this notebook?
I'm going. Don't tell them I was here.
I would never bear falsity to a steward of the Edens.
Right.
Yeah, she
She's not
doesn't
gonna
lie.
if they ask.
Lumen destroyed this
best.
That notebook's going in the fire.
You owe them no loyalty. Everything that you have, you owe back to the Egans as fealty.
What?
I'm sure they told you that.
My designs! Circuit blueprint, base code,
Did she create Severance?
overtime contingency, Glasgow block.
No way.
Oh, fuck.
Jane Egan was the inventor. So I've heard.
Oh,
She
it was her designs,
created it.
but then Jane Egan got credit.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
That notebook is going in the fire. She's throwing it in that
Yeah.
fire.
Go, you stay, you keep.
I was told that if I sought credit, I would be banished.
You got just.
Come on,
Just,
you gotta
come on,
be
she's
stronger.
old. Just
Yeah.
I
yeah.
hope you die as painfully as she did.
She said it.
Did she
Tell her
get
to
the
drop
notebook
dead
back?
for me.
Yes, she got
It
it.
was her hand that removed the tube, not mine. Your mother was a coward.
Just yeah, man.
Then in the body, filled with malice and resentment.
You gonna kill this lady now?
I'm thinking that would be the way.
I don't believe you!
I don't think she lies.
I thought you were different.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't just say that to be mean.
You are a weed, just as she was.
Man, she's so awful.
Someone's coming. Who? I'm just glad that that notebook didn't go in the fire.
Right, that would have.
Would have been too obvious.
I'll see you around. Come tame these tempers of assholes.
Okay.
Wait.
Interesting. Okay, so she invented the chips? That's a very unexpected piece of information.
So listen, Mark has been reintegrating,
We're a copy.
but listen, we want to try something else.
Is Mark with you?
Oh, yes.
Put him on.
Hello?
Tell me everything.
And then this is-
Why?
Whoa.
Okay,
All right.
well. They love to make us wait here on
They sure
Severance,
do.
don't they?
They do, but they don't make you wait with nothing.
No,
That was
Yeah.
they make us wait with something.
yeah.
So I guess it's ramping up to be like by the end of the season, Mark is going to get back his full access to his memories of Lumen. Maybe not even that soon.
I think.
Yeah.
I think next episode that's gonna be the. What do we have? One more,
Two
two more after.
There's one more
One
like
next
that,
week and the
next
week-
week and then the finale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mark gets it all back next week. I think
So he's
I
gonna-
think, all of this stuff is going to culminate next week, and then there's going to be a big.
But if he's
Blow up.
reintegrated, he will remember everything that Mrs. Selvig has done as Miss Cobell on the Severed floor, and so like, why would you trust her at that point? She's been so like evil to you.
I
know?
think that if she's so resentful this entire time, I mean, they stole her like designs and gave the credit to someone else. Like she, her mother hated Lumen, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like if the person who's supposed to be like the matriarchal like kind of person in her life is Sissy, that's awful too, right?
Yeah.
Like you would hate this whole operation.
Sure, but then
completely.
why was she such a loyal soldier? You
I
know, why-
think that there's probably little tiny little hints throughout this entire show that would show us that even stuff maybe Mark has picked up on.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
Feel like now with all these pieces put together.
I'd speculated that before, yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like
I think that she was. I think she was loyal. Loyalty does not preclude a set an amount of resentment for having her design stolen.
yeah.
But like I can't think why she would have the shrine do her like those prayers and work. I think she was loyal to the idea, but not necessarily the institution of Kier. And then being fired, now she's disillusioned, she's lost, she goes back home to find this piece that she has to bring them down in some fashion.
Or at least show that she should get credit for the severance chips. Yeah, so like that, but that just implies such a level of expertise in like medicine and computer science and all this stuff and like that's surprising given that she was just like a manager.
I mean, you don't have to have invented the chip, but like we've shown that like reintegration can happen with like just like electrodes and like stuff. You know, you can create the severance maybe without necessarily like the applicator for, you know.
Sure. No, yeah, I understand that you don't have to have all the details exactly worked out to be able to, you know, conceptualize the idea in a way that will work. It's just, it's just a shocking piece of like lore that they gave us that I'm still just processing, I guess.
She's
the idea
apparently
that
like
Miss Cobell is the one who invented the severance chips.
Yeah.
I heard it was James Kier. Or
Jay Megan.
Jay Megan, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's what I heard. Anyway,
he's talked already about, like he talked to Helly in the season 1 finale about having brought home one of the prototypes of the first chip when she was little, you know, and she is like 31 years old. I think they said in season 1.
31?
I think so.
That seems okay.
So I'm just putting that with the timeline from the Bert and Fields dinner, where Fields accidentally said 20 years, and Irving was like, "Wait a minute, I thought it's only 12-year-old. They only opened the first severed office 12 years ago." And Helly being a kid lines up more with 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So like the first chips, it was secret for a while, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can imagine that before they just started the whole experiment. There was probably a few years there where they were like, we got to really make sure that this is like gonna work.
Or they did it to people who didn't sign up, like did it to people without them knowing what was being done to them, and then those people just realized that they were losing huge tracts of their life.
Or it was like they did it to people and then found out that it was unstable. Like, how much did it mess up like Petey to all of a sudden like have all your memories like back all of a sudden, you know?
It's true, there has to have been, and at the gala,
trial and error, man.
Natalie said about it, there were bumps along the road, you know?
Yeah, and we can, like, thinking about this reveal of Cobell, like, there's nothing that says that Cobell, like, doing whatever, like, obviously she was a star pupil in this
the Wintertide Fellowship.
What was it? Myrtle Egan, school, and she was in the Fellowship. There's nothing that says that like she invented this solely on her own.
Right, but like, she's got the notes of the development process.
She's got the notes of the development process. So like, there's some other people, like she might be the driving force, but it's not like, oh, she did it herself in a closet, you know, working by candlelight at night. Like, I feel like she could still also be the person who came up with the idea and working in a team for Lumen.
University setting.
Well, and also, the thing that just occurred to me now, too, is the clause that's really in a lot of corporate employment contracts. That's like anything you do or create while you're working for us, or you like create using resources we provided you, belongs to us as intellectual property and not you. You know?
Which is garbage, by the way.
I mean, but it's just interesting that that's like sort of that same idea, but brought forth onto like somebody who's raised entirely totally immersed in the culture of a corporation. Does that then become anything you create in your life, because we are responsible for your whole life? Anything you create is our property.
You owe everything as fealty to the
exactly.
Egans.
So it's that real corporate principle, I guess, just magnified 100 times, like the show always does.
They are job creators, so
definitely,
everyone's doing great at the ether factory. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how.
So I think that town was intentionally supposed to make us go like, is this place deserted? And I was like, oh no, it's just been left in ruin by a company that no longer profits from its existence.
But does the factory still produce ether, or are they just going off what they had stored in the basement of the factory? You know, like, I guess they're still getting ether from somewhere. So
the people who lived there seem to be very, very old.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just waiting for everyone else to die out. You know, it seems like it's just a matter of time. I don't know. What year is it on this show?
Yeah, right,
what
for
is
real.
the state of the world? What,
Right, like
everything is weird.
It is so weird. Like the fact that these people are taking ether. Like, yes, they're near an ether factory, but it is dying. Is that common throughout the world? Is like because there was this weird,
like, people take ether.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's uncommon these days. But again, the state they live in doesn't exist. PE is not a state abbreviation.
Right, yeah,
so we know that the world, this is not just like Earth as we know it. Something is different about their world. So how far does that? They keep giving, stronger and stronger hints something's off about the world. They're gonna, that'll be one of the big reveals this show pulls out eventually is, the whole time the world we were inhabiting was X.
An alien planet, like we've all been saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Robots and clones, huh?
When we reach that point, that signifies the end of a discussion when something like that comes out. So.
Yeah, I don't know if there's not like a whole lot more to say. I mean, I'm glad we got...
It was a backstory episode.
I wasn't that interested in a Harmony Cobell episode. I mean, she just I want to know about her motivations now, like more,
she's
and like she
barely
just
been in this season.
And she also just like generally has kind of sucked, like everything she does.
Not as a character, but as a lady.
She's a great character, but she's just like, why do I care about the emotional well-being of this monster person? But I mean, I think this context is going to be kind of interesting to fit into the greater puzzle, which is something they're always so good at.
All right, two things directly in response to that. One, Harmony Cobell is, from our experience with her previously, a monster person, a weird alien, nonsensical.
Well, she's done monstrously
malicious
horrible things. Yeah,
that is as viewers, we have this very severed experience with who Harmony Cobell is. And
true.
I think that is a very, it was interesting to, save it all for this episode.
It's kind of like her outie for the first time, almost.
Yes.
Her living her real life instead of doing her work stuff.
Right.
And two, one thing that I really, especially, some of those, the conversation at the factory between Harmony and the guy from the cafe who did we get a name on him?
I think he maybe said at the very end, she said his name. I don't know what it was.
Passed me by, but, I was so impressed. It was so cool to see two people who were acting so well, and in what would be, if they were not acting that as well, that dialogue would have been hilariously.
It's true.
Bad.
Bad.
You need skilled actors to perform any of the dialogue on this show. You cannot go to amateurs. So, I mean, Cobell kissed somebody. That's so bizarre.
Weird.
It's a side of her we'd never seen. I think it's an interesting point that it's we're severed from these, especially the management types, the villains more. But I guess this season has, with Miss Cobell and with Milchick and Helena, has kind of taken time to try and build in, victimhood for all their villains. These are evil people doing evil things, all three of them, but they also are victimized by other forces in their own lives, It's
at least
not as though they just hold all the power.
Yeah, they are full people.
Right.
Living complex lives.
Exactly.
And it happens that their only interaction with these other characters is
to do evil stuff.
But the quality of your character is defined by the things you do.
Right. I'm not excusing any of them. I'm just saying the show is doing a good job of depicting that stuff, even on the villains, and instead of just the people that we root for. So
I agree.
It's good stuff.
It's just a little more to come, but it feels like it's gonna be a lot.
Oh yeah,
so
I feel like the last two will be intense.
That's right.
All right.
Until next time, everybody, I'm Nate.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Sean.
And this is Ketchup Packets.